What's up, everybody? It's Conger Live. We're back again with another TMNT Mutant Madness video. Today's video, we're going to be going over the mutation heroes, those with the power boost for Dimension Clash next week. If you're new to the channel, consider subscribing, ninja kick that like button, and let's go get into it. Okay, so this announcement always happens on Channel 6 News in the official Discord. It's very nice that they do this for us. They also have a giveaway in the Congregate official server. They have a link to that server there in the official news as well, for a chance for a 1-year NITRO subscription. That's pretty cool if you don't already have NITRO. So you can join their server, go to their giveaways, and it works just like the giveaways that happen on the Ninja Turtle Mutant Madness server, but it is on the Congregate main server, so that's open to all Congregate gamers. So let's take a look at the power mutation for this coming week. We got 4 heroes. We like the sound of 4 heroes. It's either turtles or frogs. What do we got? Napoleon! So Genghis, Rasputin, and Attila. So the punk frogs are on mutation this coming week. This is going to be a lot of fun. They actually work really well together for the most part. I think the weakest link is Genghis. He doesn't have the synergy the others have, but all very good solid tunes in general. Attila and Rasputin being my favorite of these. But let's go take a look at their kits. Okay, so we're just going to go through their kits basically from top to bottom how I have them. So Attila's the one that I have fully up to 250, 5 stars. He's an amazing tune. Use him everywhere. His ult gains defense if he's not rooted or slowed, targets all enemies at range 1, inflicts negative defense, and deals physical damage. Select an enemy at range 2, move to them, inflict negative 30 armor for 5 seconds, and deal 20k physical damage. Inflict stun for 2.5 seconds if not disarmed. So this is really, really cool. He does a bunch of damage to everyone around him, and he goes to somebody and does even more damage to them while also protecting himself and inflicting that stun. So his ult is just awesome. His belly flop auto skill gains 140 armor and 80% stun and resistance. This is the highest stun resistance in the game at 80%. And targets all enemies at range 1, deals physical damage. So his little belly flop is really, really nice. Damage dealer, keeping him mobile. His shield breaker passive, when attacking, he inflicts negative defense and negative 4 armor for 30 seconds. Inflicts negative 100 defense per strength. Inflict negative 4 armor to targets above 10 armor. So he's going to be stripping armor no matter what, but if they have a lot of armor, he's going to strip it twice as fast. So this is really, really cool to help get that physical damage that he does to do more. His croaking unity, all allies gain 15 haste and 5 will for each other non-summon ally that is not stunned or silenced. Whenever an ally at or above 10 will uses a skill, gives all allies defense. So he's giving 5 will. They only need 5 more will from other source. Oh wait, he gets 5 per non-summon ally. So early on, they're staying alive really, really well. As long as they're not getting stunned, they're not getting silenced, he helps keep the team going with that haste and that will. This is an essential skill. It is the reason why we use him in like every game mode, is that haste and will is just really, really powerful. And War Croak, target closest enemy, inflict negative defense and negative 40 strength and will for 10 seconds. Target all allies, give defense and 25 strength for 10 seconds. Give extra defense to targets that are not stunned or silenced. So basically just anything that stuns or silences slows him down. Outside of that, he does a really, really good job. His auto skills are 11 seconds and 6 seconds. So belly flop is great. It happens really fast. This one's a little bit slow. But the fact that it reduces will for 10 seconds and it happens every 11 seconds, once this is going, you're basically taking someone's will down by 40, which is huge. That's going to slow down their ult. And finally, his equipment skill, the flail. He gains 30 strength and armor while not disarmed. All enemies under 10 armor get negative 30 alertness. Now, since he's stripping armor with his passive, this is going to be pretty easy to get to pretty quickly, I think. So that negative alertness, not only does he strip defense, but he's going to prevent them from getting more defense. So really, really cool. And that just bonus strength just helps him do more damage. So that's Attila. He is definitely the best of the 4. Next up on my board is Napoleon. because with him, I got him at 5 stars. I got 2 copies of him at 5 stars when I was pulling my opening my drives. I haven't leveled him all the way up yet. If I was playing in PvP, I would definitely take him to at least 225 for this at this rank. But let's go ahead and take a look at what he's got. He deals physical damage, inflicts disarm for 4 seconds, targets all enemies within range 1 of the target, inflicts negative defense and negative 30 will for 6 seconds. So both these frogs so far are taking will away, which is great. At 175, he gains 50 haste for 6 seconds per enemy hit, which is huge because that basic attack haste is also going to help him charge his ult right back up. His Snap Strike targets an enemy at range 3, deals physical damage, inflicts negative 40 armor for 8 seconds, deals extra damage, and inflicts stun for 3 seconds to rooted or slowed targets. So if you could somehow get some other heroes on his team that root or slow, that's going to turn that into a stun, which makes Napoleon great. This happens every 7 seconds, and the fact that he strips the armor every 8 seconds, if he stays on the same target, they're constantly having that armor taken away. He does physical damage. Attila does physical damage. I think they all do. All the frogs do. So that's just more damage output coming with his synergy with his other frog friends. Thunderous Lashes when attacking inflicts negative defense. After attacking, gains defense if the target has no defense. When attacking, inflict negative defense to enemies within range 1 of the target. So getting him to 200 is pretty key because you want to strip not just the target's defense, but everyone around his defense. And of course, the main target, if they don't have defense, he will gain defense, helping him to stay in the battle as things get further on down. Now, his Bully Whip passive unlocks at 125 and then upgrades at 225. When attacking, inflict negative 5 alertness, negative 2 will for 6 seconds, and deal extra damage to targets at or under 0 armor. Attila is stripping armor, so this is going to happen. He's going to get this extra damage quite often, I would assume. And he's going to inflict reduced alertness and will for 14 extra seconds to stunned, disarmed, rooted, or slowed targets. A lot of different status effects that will proc this, so this 225 skill is very, very nice. His last one, Leapfrog. Target all enemies at range 1, inflict slow for 6 seconds. Gain defense if not rooted or slowed, and move up to 4 tiles away. That'll help keep him alive. And if you take him up to 250, he will gain 15 will per enemy at range 2 for 6 seconds. So that extra will help him get his skills off faster. I think very, very useful. Not necessary, but it could give you that edge. We're going to go ahead and equip all. His Bullfrog Bull Whip. Gains 60 haste at the start of combat, inflicts stun for 2 seconds to the closest enemy. This stun for 2 seconds is awesome, and the fact that he gains haste like flat all the time, he's going to be charging his ult. Really, really cool stuff coming from Napoleon. Okay, next up we have, I think, where is Genghis? There he is. Genghis is next. Genghis, he doesn't have as much synergy with the others, but there's some. He has gained 70 armor for 3 seconds off his axe spin, select an enemy empty tile at range 2, move there, target all enemies within range 1, deals damage, inflicts slow, etc. So this slow that he inflicts is going to help Napoleon out, and this armor is going to help him kind of be protected against some of the other detriments that the other two do if you're going frogs versus frogs. His Heavy Chop targets an enemy at range 1, deals physical damage, and deals extra damage per enemy armor, deals extra damage if not disarmed. So he's going to do extra damage if they have armor. The other two, so far, they strip armor, so not huge, not great. Extra damage if disarmed. We don't have any disarming happening yet, but none of them like being disarmed. So something to consider, but still just not amazing, not bad, just not like, wow, he's so great, right? His Cleaving Strike's passive when attacking deals extra damage per enemy armor. Once again, that's not going to be happening too much with Attila stripping that armor. And target other enemies at range 1 of Genghis, and the target deal physical damage after attacking, gain defense per enemy at range 1. So this is nice. He has that extra survivability with his Cleaving Strikes. That's probably the best, and it does a little bit of splash damage, so to speak, because it's kind of an AoE, because both the people next to him will also, the target will take some damage. But once again, that armor defense, the armor bonus damage is not really going to proc much. And it's better not to have the armor anyways. I think you'll still end up doing more damage. Swamp Protector after an enemy at range 1 attacks another ally, gain 50 haste for 3 seconds. So this condition, he has to be next to somebody who's attacking someone else. Well, he's the tank. Chances are they're going to attack him first anyways, the way things are coded. So I'm not a huge fan of this skill. Give 10 alertness for 10 seconds to that ally. 10 alertness is not a lot. I mean, it does help. And they do have different ways of gaining some defense through, like Napoleon and Attila's kit so far, but yeah, just not amazing anyway. The weakest link, but he's a solid tune. He's got a great core hit points, great damage, and his stalwart stance gains 80 strength and 80 armor for 5 seconds, gain 20 extra armor per enemy at range 1. So he's going to have that extra survivability and that extra damage. This happens every 7 seconds. So once it procs after the first time, basically only 2 seconds every 2 seconds every 5 seconds does he not have this bonus. At 250, he gains 70% stun resistance for those 7 seconds, so basically all the time. He'll have it once he gets to use it the first time. And gain 20 extra strength per enemy at range 1. So this stun resistance is really, really good to keep him in the battle fighting. 250 is a huge investment for a tune that we don't use very often. So he's probably one I would pass on, but if you only have 1 or 2 frogs, definitely use Genghis. He can definitely put in some work. His axe gains 60 strength while not disarmed. Allies at range 1 get 15 armor. So this is nice. This armor will get stripped pretty quickly if they're Attila's against them. But that little bit does help, I guess. Although it's also going to boost the opposing Genghis for him to be able to do more damage. So once again, overall, Genghis is not my favorite of the frogs. He's probably my least favorite. But he's not bad. Rasputin, finally. The flash arrow. Select a tile at range 4 and target all enemies within range 1 of it. Inflict negative defense, inflict negative 100 haste for 4 seconds, and stun for 1.5 seconds. Inflict reduced haste and stun for 2 extra seconds to targets at or over 10 alertness. So Genghis giving out that alertness, you're almost guaranteed to get stunned longer if Genghis is on your team and you're facing Rasputin. Also, any other heroes that give alertness, you may not want to be using them against Rasputin because it's a longer stun, a longer reduced haste, not going to be able to charge your will, your special meter without getting to do those basic attacks. So yeah, I like Rasputin. He has some good synergy and some good countering with that skill. Goop arrow targets tile at range 4, all enemies within range 1 of it. Inflict negative defense, inflict root, and 80 strength for focus for 3 seconds. Inflict slow for 7 seconds. This happens every 5 seconds. That's really, really fast. So even though this strength and focus for 3 seconds, this root and this slow, it's really like the slow for 7 seconds, like constantly permanently slowed on his targets, right? Really, really nice skill there. His trick arrows, when attacking at range 2+, deal extra damage, inflict negative 10 armor for 10 seconds to targets that are above her. Do the same for haste, alertness, strength, and will. So this is really cool because he's just going to strip all their stats if he has his distance. His punk ambush at the start of combat, root the closest enemy for 3 seconds. Whenever an ally attacks, gain defense and 15 haste for 3 seconds if the target is stunned, rooted, or slowed. At 225, gains 300 armor and barrier for 5 seconds, and gains alertness and will per enemy that is stunned, rooted, or slowed. So it's interesting, stunned, rooted, or slowed. So he does the root to the closest. Napoleon does the stun. I think this gain 10 alertness and will, stunned, rooted is all the time, not just at the start of combat. The way it's worded, it's a little funny. But he gets these boosts right away when we have these initial tricks. Target a tile at range 4 of all enemies within range 1. Deal energy damage. Extra damage to stunned, rooted, or slowed enemies. So you're going to be stunning quite a bit, rooting or slowing with Rasputin, Napoleon, Attila. So the 3 of them, I think, make a great trio if you don't want to use Genghis, because you could probably find some better fills than Genghis if you have access to all these guys. His trick bow at the start of combat gain 45 strength and focus and 90 haste for 5 seconds. So his trick bow is only good for his starting, but his Rasputin starting off really fast is just really, really nice that he can help you gain some momentum in the beginning of the battle. So that's it for the punk frogs. Let me know which of these frogs you think is your favorite. Which ones are you going to use next week? Don't forget to ninja kick that like button, subscribe for more content. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.